we're back.
Yes, we are.
If you wanted us back, yay! If you didn't, here we are for season 2. There's a lot going on right now in our life. Currently, it is 3 weeks till our wedding. We got no pre-recording done because, well, I guess now is as good of the time as any. We're selling our house right now. So right now we are painting. We just finished painting the first coat of our living room. There's a lot happening in our lives right now. So we're pre-recording 3 episodes tonight, and then we're going to do a special episode.
So please, bear with us. We are tired.
Yes. We're so tired. There's been so much happen. I'm going to have oral surgery Monday. We found out Monday. This previous Monday. Yeah. We're just dealing with a lot right now, and we're just holding it together, you know? And that's all that you can do, but I'm happy to do it with you, if that makes sense, because we vibe really well together. You know what I mean? Remind me of that bird on TikTok, and he's like, "What do?"
I don't know, with a beard going on, I kind of have like this Wayne Static look.
Oh, wow. Relax. So I hope you guys liked the cool new intro that I did for the Halloween season for the podcast.
I picked it out.
Casey did, actually. Casey did pick it out. So I've been trying really hard to kind of zoosh things up a little bit and all that other stuff. So the first 3 episodes you're going to see with this background, and then the next rest of the season, I don't know what it's going to look like back there, or where we're going to be, or what we're going to be doing. I have
some idea.
Well, yeah, we do have some idea. And we've got a couple of vlogs. We're going to vlog our honeymoon because we're going somewhere really fun that has great memories for us. And so a lot of stuff is excited. Are you excited? Stressed, but excited.
Yeah.
So before we get started, though, I do want to say I was checking Facebook before we came in here. I hope everyone is safe in Florida. Hurricane Ian is hitting really hard right now. I have friends in Florida, so I hope that they are safe. They've been checking in as they can. Also, R.I.P. Coolio. Gangsta's Paradise. He died today at, what did I say, 59? I think it was? Yeah. So that's sad. Anyways, Casey, have you ever heard of the Bell Witch?
I have. It's a very loud dingy witch. all the time dinging in the woods.
If you live in Tennessee, then you definitely have heard of the Bell Witch.
Do I live in Tennessee?
But I'm just saying for them. Do you?
Oh my god.
Cue X-Files theme.
Let's think about the thing from the other day.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. We'll do an episode on that. But
I also apologize if I'm distracted. There's
Kiki and Taz.
Tears.
Kiki and Taz are in here with us because they can't be out.
The paint
running
is still
amok.
wet. We don't want our black kitty cats to be white.
Yeah. So pretty much anyone that has ever lived in Tennessee or even went through Tennessee has heard of the Bell Witch. It's a very infamous case in Tennessee. I thought it would be cool to kind of open with something from Tennessee as far as the first episode for the season. So I wrote, hi Taz. He wants up here so bad. So I'm gonna kind of go over the research that I've done and things that I've wrote. Come here, you want to come up here? Oh, okay. What I'm not gonna do, oh, he's hugging me. What I'm not gonna do, hun, is hold you the whole time.
I will, Taz.
Go Papa, go Papa. Look at his blue collar, everybody.
Don't want me.
He's a mama's boy. He has a blue collar. Go on. Go, buddy. Go, buddy.
That's enough.
Okay, so here we go, Taz. Oh, are you gonna go up here? Okay.
Lauren wants to hang it.
All right. So,
He's gonna slink around.
oh, thank you, baby. So I'm gonna read what I wrote, and then we'll talk about it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, he winked at me. I think he's trying to make me jealous. I can climb up there too.
No.
Oh.
No. So I'm going to start with a small insert from Richard William Bell's manuscript that he wrote about this whole experience of the bells. Whether it was witchery, such as afflicted people in past centuries and dark ages, whether some gifted fiend of hellish nature practicing sorcery for selfish enjoyment, or some modern science akin to that as mesmerism. No, you cannot rub on the microphones. Or some Taz, stop, buddy. Taz.
You're too big to rub on.
You're way too big. Okay, take two. We're gonna try it again.
You have to put that in there. Keep reading.
No, I'm going to. I'm just gonna start over. Whether it was witchery such as afflicted people in past centuries and the darker ages, whether some gifted fiend of hellish nature practicing sorcery for selfish enjoyment, or some more modern science akin to that of mesmerism, or some hobgoblin native to the wilds of the country, or a disembodied soul shut out from heaven, or an evil spirit like those Paul drove out of the man into the swine, setting them mad, or a demon let loose from hell. I am unable to decide, nor has anyone yet divined its nature or cause for appearing, and I trust this description of the monster in all forms and shapes and of many tongues will lead experts who may come with a wiser generation to a correct conclusion and satisfactory explanation. That's really interesting that he wrote, because basically he's saying, whatever it is, hopefully a wiser generation down the road will look into this and have some sort of conclusion. We're not there yet.
So what you're telling me, is it unnerved the stone wall?
What?
That was Jackson's name.
Oh.
Or nickname.
Yes.
Stonewall Jackson?
Yes.
Now that's power.
So, in Tennessee, it goes without question that one of the most well-known paranormal encounters is that of the infamous Bell Witch. For years, it has been debated on if these legendary encounters and stories were true or if they were elaborate fiction and hysteria. Go back to the Salem witch trials, hysteria. Even well-noted figure by the name of Andrew Jackson was infatuated with the witch. It is documented that he often sent soldiers to investigate the claims made, and each time they would return after being frightened away. That's something really cool. So...
Yeah, he didn't even go himself.
No.
What a nerd.
He was scared to. Stonewall wasn't made of stone, it seems.
Only in battle.
Only in battle. So our journey begins in Robertson County, Tennessee, where John Bell Sr. lived with his family in what is now near the town of Adams, Tennessee. When you research the most intense hauntings, they typically last around a year or so. However, the case of the Bell Witch lasted 4 years. Could you imagine 4 years of non-stop haunting? Hi, Taz. I thought that was interesting. Encounters by the Bell family ranged from physical assaults, disembodied voices, shape-shifting, and even clairvoyance. In the book, An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch, Martin V. Ingram claimed the alleged poltergeist's name was Kate, though no actual reason was found out why this name was chosen by such a powerful entity.
Taz.
You have to get him off the table. Taz, you can't Taz, get down.
If I pick him up now, he's going to get the wires. Come here, you little nerd. Okay.
So no one understood why she picked the name Kate. It's never really been said. Some legends say that she was a witch that once lived on the property or in the local cave. Other claims made were once that it was claimed to be Native American in origin, which has been shot down. Let's see. In 1817, when John came into contact with an odd creature that resembled a dog on the property, that's when the hauntings began. Soon, his son Drew stumbled upon an unknown bird that he claimed was extremely large in size. Betsy, his youngest daughter, then saw an apparition of a young girl swinging from the branch of an oak tree. Now you have to go on the floor, Taz. Sorry.
I tried that once. It didn't work out for me.
Soon after the sightings occurred, more activity became more prevalent on the property. And it went inside the residence. Phantom knocking and rapping were heard throughout the home, as well as eerie sounds of chains dragging and gnawing at the bed frames.
It was Coolio.
During this time, John began to experience an extremely odd paralysis in his mouth, and things grew rapidly more severe with physical assaults and interactions. Sheets were pulled off of beds when children were sleeping, and the entity began to pull hair and scratch the children as well. Betsy began to receive painful slaps and the feelings of pins, like pinpricks, poking her regularly. The family turned to a close friend during these times with hopes of feeling some comfort that they were not alone in what they were experiencing. James Johnston came as soon as he was able, determined to help his close friends and their children make sense of such a odd and strong activity. Upon his initial arrival, things were quiet. However, once the sun went down and he lay down for the night, the witch made herself known. His experiences are described as the same that the family had been experiencing, giving him a restless night. The next morning, he told John that the strange force was a spirit, like in the Bible, thus continuing to give shape to this invisible creature that was tormenting them. The power that is the word of mouth soon got out in the area, and people came from great distances to experience the Bell Witch for themselves. The entity grew bolder and would speak out loud often. Many would often ask questions of who are you, what do you want, which was met with the textbook answer of I am a spirit, I was once happy but have been disturbed. There were many explanations given by Kate. Again, one was noted that a nearby Native American burial ground had been disturbed, but that's been disproven upon my research anyways. The strength of this entity grew even more. Now it was able to have full intelligent conversations using complicated dialogue. It was said that her favorite type of conversation was that of religious arguments, where she would quote scripture and was well versed in biblical texts. She would also often gossip about other households outside of the family and their activities. When I read that, I giggled because I just pictured John Bell chilling and Kate popping in, being like, hey, guess what the Millers did? Like, I've got the tea. It's scandal. You know what I mean? And then John being like, spill the tea. But anyways, Kate was kind of turned into a troll. I want to make her actually the first honorary troll in history, because she would argue with Christians and she would just tell everybody's business. So I think she'd be a troll because she did it just for the fun of it, you know what I mean? So John created an elaborate plan to test if these things that Kate was saying was true, because she was going around telling rumors about people outside. So was she able to use clairvoyance, essentially? Think 11 from Stranger Things. So I'm gonna tell you about his little test and then we'll take a break. So, John's test was very private and close to home in terms as personal. He chose a topic that no one outside of his family knew. Johnston asked the entity what his Dutch grandmother would say to the slaves if she thought they had messed up on something. Trigger warning, this does talk about, like, racism right here. Without missing a beat, the witch replied in the grandmother's accent. Even more amazingly, the grandmother was in North Carolina. Another account to note was of an Englishman who had made a visit to his home to check activity for himself. To the home, sorry, the Bell's home, to check on the activity for himself, kind of see what's going on. At the time, he was a non-believer, thinking this was an elaborate game, which, I mean, very much so. People will do anything and always have done anything to get those 5-10 minutes of fame. You know?
What if that was like all they got? Literally, they just popped in for like 10 minutes and was like, who are you?
Well, I mean, from what I understand, people that came and started experiencing things, like, they left. You have Taz hair on you.
I have hair everywhere. It's in my mouth.
But like, they didn't stay very long. Kate made herself known, and then they were like, oh, peace, you know?
She just walks in, it's like...
yeah, and they're like, I'm out.
Like, oh, no. It's Kate.
So, he made a remark that his family was overseas, and the witch wasted no time. She mimicked his parents perfectly, stunning the Englishman and the Bell family.
I just imagine she's just like, oi! He's like, oh, dang, that was them.
That's the best one ever. When he awoke in the morning, he had this startling encounter of hearing his parents talking about how they thought they heard him mysteriously. Unnerved, he quickly made his way to the exit. However, he did write the Bell family apologizing for his doubts and confirming in a letter he had received that his parents heard him randomly when he wasn't in the room. So I think that's super interesting because this entity, whatever it was...
She was mimicking his parents, in the meantime she was mimicking him to them?
Yes. And they were in the UK, and he was in the United States. And they apparently wrote a letter saying they thought that they heard him and how weird it was. And, like, so it corroborated. No matter what you think the Bell Witch is, whether it be myth, legend, spiritual entity, whatever, she was extremely powerful. And the belief in her was extremely powerful. Which leads me, we'll talk about it after the break, of course, but, you know, you can kind of, we talked about it in season 1, if you believe in something enough, you can create it. Welcome back. Oh, look at how, oh, you messed up the scene.
Wait, against each other. Go the same direction you're going.
Okay. Oh, wow. I can't do that and look into that little monitor. So, I'm going to read this last little bit, and then we'll kind of discuss what your theories on the Bell Witch might be as well. I have theories. I've also... Hi, Kiki. I've also... Kiki's the Bell Witch. Yes. I also have, like, a super off-the-wall theory that actually has no meaning whatsoever, but I just think it's fun because I read it. Anyways... So the story kind of reaches its peak when John Bell Sr. was poisoned by the witch. For unknown reasons, she often referred to him as Old Jack.
Hi, Old Jack.
And made threats against his life, saying she would be the thing to end his life. Threats included curses, physical afflictions, all that good stuff. When mourners gathered for his funeral, it was claimed that the witch was cackling and singing drinking songs. I mean, she was trying to turn up.
I mean,
she was just having a good time.
What if it was like a sea shanty?
It probably was. In 1821, Betsy Bell called off her engagement to Joshua Gardner due to the hauntings' harassments. Just as the entity made its arrival, Kate then had made her exit. She didn't leave without one last threat, one that she would return in 7 years. Sure enough, in 1828, the Bell Witch made her return to the Bell's wife, Lucy, and her 2 sons. The activity was similar to before, however, this time they chose not to engage with the specter. Kate soon made her exit once more. Kate did have her favorites, though. Lucy would often receive gifts from the Bell Witch of fresh fruit or flowers. She would also sing hymns to Lucy and call her the most perfect woman to walk the earth. Then, young John Bell Jr. was also said to be shown kindness and mild respect during the family's whole haunting. Not sure why Lucy's favored, but it's a very interesting choice. You know what I mean? Because she was literally beating up the rest of the family. Like, hitting them, slapping them. They would have bruises, yanking on them in bed, pulling their hair, pricking, like, pinching them, and...
What if Lucy was just, like, harder, and she was like, wait. Whoa.
Whoa. Maybe she just had a thing for Lucy.
I don't know.
You know? Who knows? What do you think of the Bell Witch?
Was there, like, a cave?
Mm-hmm. There is.
Where did the cave play in?
So the cave played into the theory that she was an actual witch when she was alive that lived on the property. And oftentimes when they heard things on the property, like they would hear her laughing or something, it would come from that cave. But they could never find anything in the cave.
Why do witches always laugh? What's so funny? Tell me.
A lot of things, I'm sure. But what do you think? Do you think it's hysteria, or do you think they were experiencing something and then, like we have seen before, personally, they just ramp it up?
I think
to where every little thing is...
There was something there, and then I believe part of it was them jumping at shadows, every little thing, because, like, they didn't really know what was going on back in the day, and old Mr. Jackson's time, and what have you.
Yeah.
From, that time period. Did they ever give a year?
Like 1800s, babe.
Anyway.
So like...
Well, I apologize. I'm burning all candles at all ends. But, like, if you're from the 1800s and, like, you, like, am sitting kind of funny on the couch or whatever they sat on back in the day, wagons, and your foot went to sleep, and you're like, oh, snap, that feels like a pinprick, and they probably did not know what was going on with that leg. I still don't, and I have Google. But, like, when my arm goes to sleep, or, like, I wake up, my hand will be, like, tingling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a little step thing. I think she was, like, losing some circulation, was, like, pinpricks.
So do you think maybe they were actually experiencing some things, and then other things, like, they embellished? Because, like I just said, from personal experience, we know...
They was jumping at shadows, because if you look for something, you will find it.
Yes. Do you want to know another theory? I'd never heard this before.
Is it the off-the-wall one?
Yes.
It has to do with skateboards, because you're off the wall.
No.
Oh. I thought she was just really rad on her skateboard.
She's really rad. I mean, she likes to party at funerals.
I mean, she does. She gets turned up. She shanties.
Say it with me.
Shut up. What's your theory?
She was an alien.
She's over there on her hoverboard, skateboard, getting turned up at parties.
Again, this is not like my personal theory, but I read it, and the argument that they gave was like she was able to do so much, and she was so powerful, and then she was like,
the voice from the other room, it was her cell phone she threw in the UK. It was just like
and then she was like, alright, peace out for 7 years, and then she came back and she was like, you guys aren't fun anymore, and then she left. Y'all behave. But anyways, it is what it is. Aliens. In our new podcast room, because we're building a house, I don't know if I said that, I want to put a picture somewhere of him, just
Can I just get his autograph of his picture of him?
Yes, that would be so fun.
Tell him I can do the hair. Pull my hair first.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the Bell Witch. They actually just reopened for tours not long ago. So you can go and tour the Bell Witch Cave.
Has it been 7 years?
And
Is she back?
let me pull it up real quick for you guys because it randomly came across my Facebook. The historic Bell Witch Cave. So they actually uploaded, sometimes they upload like evidence and things that people find when they do tours. They have a fall festival coming up, and they have these little performances they're putting on. The Red River Tales is September 25th. Smoke, A Ballad of the Night Riders is September 29th, 30th, October 1st, and October 6th, 7th, and 8th. And Spirit, the Bell Witch of Tennessee is October 13th, 14th, 15th, and October 20th, 21st, and 22nd in Adams, Tennessee. I'll put the information in the link to this video.
We should go to the one on September 25th.
No.
Why not?
Because it's the 28th. I was just reading the flyer, you jerk. But anyways, so yeah, so you can go and do tours and like
Ride brooms. Hell yeah.
No, it's just like the thing that they have. So I will definitely link it in the description below. Please go and support this because like historic places like this are really cool and they only stay open because of tourists that visit. So
And if you want to challenge me to Quidditch, come get some.
Stop. Anyways, maybe you'll go and take pictures yourself, or if you've actually been and you have experienced something there, let us know. I would love to hear your story. I don't know anyone that's been, because they had it closed down for a while because the cave had kind of become unstable in places, so they had to like reinforce some things.
We call it cavey where I come from. The cave became cavey.
Oh my god. Anyways, so if you've had an experience, I would love to hear about it. We definitely, once we get settled and things get rolling, I would really love for us to do a location video there and just kind of check it out.
Comment on the link below. As soon as I find it.
Anyways, thank you guys so much. We're so happy to be back. I've missed filming. It's kind of become a escape and a stress relief for me to get to talk about cool stuff. So I'm excited to do this. So thanks for listening. Enjoy, like, subscribe, go listen to us on Anchor. We're still trying to get to 50 listeners to meet our goal, and we would appreciate any support. So cheers to another season. Bye.
We'll be back for season 3.
We'll be back for another episode next week.
Oh, well, you just said we just did another season, so I just assumed that was it.
Goodbye, guys. We'll see you next week.